When it comes to European party destinations, few places have the same reputation as Ibiza. Ibiza is the third largest of the Balearic Islands, which is off the southwest coast of Spain, and its image as a funky party hotspot has gone back decades. However, the island does have many other attractions, not just partying. So, in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas on some of the things you can do in Ibiza that doesn't involve paying 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 euros to get into a nightclub. The first thing on the list is Ibiza town, the main capital city of the island. It's a fortress city, so it's very hilly, but the views are fantastic if you clamber all the way to the top. They've got some beautiful little alleyways, some great restaurants, some great bars, and you can spend a good couple, maybe 3 hours, just sort of wandering around that area, finding all the nooks and crannies. Now, we went in early April, so it was kind of shoulder season, but I imagine going in the summer, it'll be absolutely heaving. One thing to be aware of about Ibiza Town is it is quite expensive. We were finding it was about at least €6 for a beer, and the tapas was on the pricey side. You're hardly going to get anything for less than maybe €7 for some olives or something like that. So bear that in mind. We found a few places. If you go off the beaten track, or not even off the beaten track, just a few blocks across, we found a good recommendation, which was I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Caco, but that was €4 for a beer, and the tapas still quite pricey, but not as expensive as the old town. We actually stayed in the Ocean Drive, which was the other side of the harbour, roughly about half an hour walk from the old town, but a nice stroll across the harbour. The beach around the back there was considerably cheaper. The Cala Talamanca. There was some really good tapas there, and the prices were considerably cheaper. So, if you're on a budget, maybe look at staying towards that part of town rather than the old town. Plus, there's a nice stroll along the cliff tops. Don't get too close to the edge, but those give you great views across the bay too. So, another reason why you want to look at that part. My next must do trip for you is to get the ferry over to the island of Formentera. I had not actually heard about this island till I bought the guidebook, and that was mentioned in there. But it's about half an hour. Ferries are fairly frequent from right from the middle of the harbour, so it's easy enough just to buy a ticket on the day and hop on the ferry. And I think it's a half an hour ferry ride over as well. You pull into the main ferry terminal, which is in a lovely harbour town. The weather when we were there was absolutely glorious, and there's plenty to do, really. We didn't hire a bike or a scooter or a car, which is recommended if you want to see the whole of the island. So we kind of just stuck in the northern part. But walking along the pathways, it was very peaceful, very beautiful. In fact, I'd probably go as far as say it was probably the most beautiful beach I've seen in Europe. The weather was or the water, I should say, was a little bit choppy, so it probably wasn't quite as calm and as turquoise as it may have been. But I'm saying on a summer's day, it would probably be glorious, absolutely glorious. The other thing that was amazing was the salt, I could say salt mines, but sort of salt wells. I think they're disused, but they still have the most fantastic color. It's just like the pink was just stunning. Some of the most beautiful colors I've seen in nature, and you could still see the salt crystallizing. And if I'd known better, I probably would have seen if I could maybe have a night over there, stay in a hotel or something, and see the rest of the island because it was a really nice trip out. Although one little heads up was that, as I mentioned, we went in early April time, which is a shoulder season, so there wasn't very many of the cafes or restaurants open, certainly along those beaches. So my tip would be bring a packed lunch and plenty of water because the choices may be limited if you're going outside of that peak summer season. Okay, moving on to the next fun thing to do in Ibiza. We booked with Into the Island to do a secret spots tour in a Land Rover. This was a really good way to spend a few hours. Plenty of things to do, lots of exciting stuff. I'm not uh, paid by them, not commissioned by them. It was all done by Viator and paid for with my own money. Anyway, the tour I think does vary the itinerary depending on the time of year and various other factors. For us, we went to a few different spots. We went to the Time and Space by Andrew Rogers sort of art installation, outdoor art installation. That was quite fun. You're supposed to like throw stones up to see if you can get them on the pillars, and I think that gives you bad luck, good luck if you can do it. There's the Vedra, I think it was the island. They take you on a moderately, mildly kind of level of height, nothing too strenuous, up to a great spot, a great viewing spot of the island. Very, very dramatic. Word of warning is that if you suffer from vertigo or a little bit queasy with heights, just try and stay calm. It's not ridiculously dangerous or anything, but you kind of have a little bit of a pathway that has to be cautiously navigated. But the guides are always on hand to literally help you over and back again. So there was caves, there was beaches, there was fantastic views, lovely coastal views. I believe in the summer there's sort of snorkeling and swimming as well. Again, they shake it up due to the season. The team also film it, photograph it, so you have it all documented your day out. But that's something to also do in Ibiza when you're not out partying.